Welcoming traveler. Get ready to level up in Dynasty football.
What is happening, everybody? RPG Nation and non-members alike. Welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Football RPG Podcast. I am sitting here today with a couple of recognizable faces. We got FF Mike Kashuba back in the house. We got Evan Lowe, EP Lowe on Sleeper, and we have a new guest to the RPG Podcast. We got Fantasy Blue Chip in the house. How you doing, man?
I'm happy to be here. I'm loading up a queue and I'm ready to get sniped, baby. So it's like...
Heck yeah, we're gonna get into a little bit of a mock draft, but wanted to take a quick second for you to just be able to tell people what you're all about, man. Because I know you're on that football guys hype. I know that you do a little co-hosting on Dynasty Hour. Do you want to tell the kids where they can find your brand?
Like I said, I'm all over the place, so Twitter's always the best place. I'm behind the scenes video editing for football guys. Like basically I'm on the bench there until next season, and then hopefully I'll be making content for them. And then I host Dynasty Hour and then Dynasty Degens, so 2 pods. A lot more Jag and Blue Chip in 2023. So
cool. Yeah, I mean Dynasty Hour sounds right up my alley, but Dynasty Degens might be a little more up my alley because we are all pretty degenerate around here. I think the last time I checked, I was in 40-something Dynasty leagues. I think Mike is getting up there too. Evan, I'm a little scared to ask, although you've trimmed down a little bit, right? Evan, you can't be in like 50 now, right?
No. If you would have asked me the beginning of 2 off seasons ago, I would have said it was about 62. And now I'm back down to a manageable 26.
There you go. 26
a manageable
is a nice number.
Like I've like 15, I think, and I'm like stressed out. Like I haven't looked at any of my leagues. Like
you'll get there. But awesome, yeah. So definitely some Dynasty heavy hitters in the house along with us. We are sitting here in a jam-packed mock draft room filled with studs. I saw that Chuck Bass landed in there. I saw Aaron St. Dennis land in there. Mike from the Poor Man's Podcast is in there. So a lot of good dudes. I think even Eric. Yeah, Eric managed to find his way in, even though he's not on the pod tonight, has a little bit of a sore throat, bronchitis situation. But yeah. So very excited to go through this. It's a startup mock draft. But before we get into it, as a little bit of a warm-up, I wanted to hear from each of you guys, simply to judge you all on your choices. What is the best pizza topping or combination of pizza toppings? And I'd love to hear Evan's first.
Oh, it's a very simple classic pepperoni.
The classic pepperoni. You get down on the Parmesan or the pepper flakes? Nothing then? Like just plain pepperoni?
If you have good enough cheese, the pepperoni speaks for itself, and that's just a good New York style pizza.
I feel it. Okay. I hear you. What about you, Mike? You got a differing opinion? You got something else up your sleeve? Something a little more creative?
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with a little bit of pepperoni, but they also do the sliced sausage, so it looks like pepperoni, but it's just a little tastier, a little spicy. You can get some Italian sausage on there. It's a nice little flavor bump.
You're a sausage guy. All right.
Big sausage.
I dig it. I heard. All right. And what about you, Jagger? I was just making sure before we launched that you were not a pizza hater, because that would have broke my heart. But what do you get down on the za?
If I'm doing plain Jane, because like I'm not very picky at all, but like just like a simple 2 to 3 toppings, pepperoni, mushroom, and jardiniere pepper, and then I'm like set with that.
Oh man, I shouldn't have asked this question. I'm hungry. I'm with you guys with the pepperoni. I think that needs that. I mean, it's obvious why that's like the flagship pizza topping. I get down on like a pepperoni jalapeno pepper myself. I do like it a little spicy. And jalapeno is a solid one. So it's usually what I get down. If I choose a third one, is like maybe some crispy bacon on there to kind of round it out. but yeah, that's what I get down on. Let us know your favorite pizza topping on the comments of this YouTube video, and I will judge you thoroughly for your choices. But how you guys feeling? You want to get into a little bit of football? Because we got a couple things to talk about here before we launch into this mock draft.
Let's do it.
First and foremost, I mean, Jonathan Taylor has been a tumultuous topic for us here all summer long, and it sort of ends with sort of an anticlimactic ending here with him not being traded and him staying on the PUP list. He will miss the first 4 games. And I guess I want to get a beat check from you guys if anyone wants to like raise their hand and sort of stand for it. Like, what do we think with this whole 4-game missing? Are we moving Jonathan Taylor down in dynasty rankings, or is this like one of those things where it was sort of built into his price, or what do we think? Does anyone want to go first on this, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I got to go first. Like I had him ranked as my 103 for dynasty rankings, and like with the short shelf life of a running back, if I'm going to miss most of the season, like there's a chance that he holds out past the PUP list, or he tries to get a trade and can't get another one done. Like there's a very reasonable chance that he misses most of the season. So you got to bump him down a little bit, because I'd rather have somebody that's scoring me points right now, helping me win a championship right now. And like, maybe that's a short-sighted view in a dynasty setting, but I have to bump him down at least a couple of slots, but not too much.
Yeah, I think it'll be really interesting actually with us doing a startup mock draft for Dynasty to see where he ends up being taken. Because I agree with you. I mean, you have to move him down, I think, a little bit here. He's not going to play 4 games, 4 pretty easy games, in my opinion, where he is going to get some good points. In terms of trade, though, like, do we still think it's possible? I know Evan's been a very has had a very negative opinion about the possibilities of Jonathan Taylor getting traded. What do you think, Jagger? Do you think that there's a possibility here that after these 4 games, he's on the PUP list, he ends up finding a trade? And where do you think that will be?
Yeah, because I mean, NFL in the same sense, kind of like they kind of work like fantasy managers. After 4 weeks, certain guys are gonna like, we're contenders and we need this one piece to win. So I think he can still get traded. I'm in Dynasty. He's a big buy for me right now, which says a lot because I'm a running back hater. So like that pretty much answers the question. He's been lowered finally, where I'm like, hell yeah, I'm willing to pay for that. Or at least try, So
yeah,
it's and kind of like what Mike said, like the running back shelf life thing. He's at that razor's edge that like on a contending roster, there's a lot of high upside that I'm willing to risk it for the biscuit for, depending on what I have to give up. But and to me, beyond that, I still think he has his own value when you think about guys who are still getting paid. So either way, it's
yeah. I think that your first point was actually really good too, because you think about those first 4 weeks. I mean, we see it every year. Running back injuries are going to happen. He waits those 4 weeks. A contending team loses their starting RB. They're much more incentivized to make that trade. So that could be. Evan, you still definitely not the Dolphins, because Evan and I have been going back and forth on this for a while, where I just keep feeding him the articles and the news updates. They're like, ooh, the Dolphins. And Evan's like, it's not the Dolphins. Evan's still not the Dolphins.
No, he's not going anywhere because the price that Indy has on him is just way too high. No team is going to pay a second for him.
It's so lame. It's so lame that they're like, we're not going to pay you money, but you're also super valuable. It's like, pick a lane, guys. But I hear you. I hope he gets traded. I mean, I have some JT. I'd love to see him on a team where he's happy to be on. That'd be cool. I
think it's crazy that a team wouldn't pay a second right now. Like a first, I think that's a little much, but a second rounder for Jonathan Taylor, I'd like I heard someone make the point that like the issue is he doesn't offer much outside of he doesn't offer much in the passing game. And I still think he's just so good of a game-changing runner that it's fine. Like you can just use 2 backs like everybody else.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. He's one of the best RBs in the league. He's one of those RBs that you can just say is a weapon. One of those guys like Eckler and Barkley, in my opinion, at least he's up in those tiers. Yeah. So it is interesting to see him not get traded. but the Colts are just, they're weird, man. They're pulling some weird stuff. This whole offseason has been quite a weird look into the Colts organization and how they treat their players with Jim Irsay at the helm. But okay, we can move along here. We do have one other sort of strange situation to talk about here with the New England Patriots. When I saw that they cut Bailey Zappi, I was pretty surprised. I was even more surprised when they followed it up with cutting Malik Cunningham and leaving Mac Jones as the only QB currently rostered on their team. It's very strange to me. I guess this happens and has happened. It had to have, like, I might have just missed it. I can't pull any examples out the top of my head, but what is the plan here? Who do we think is going to be the backup? Who are they going to bring in? I'll just go like round robin here. Mike, who are they bringing in to back up Mac Jones?
I could not tell you because I thought Bailey Zappi was going to be the guy, and then I thought
he's out.
Malik Cunningham.
They got to pick one.
I think Nathan Peterman got cut today, so
he did.
Bring in Nathan Peterman.
They would really rather have Nathan Peterman.
He'll finally be throwing touchdowns to the Bills because he's playing for the Patriots.
Hey, you know what? If they really do want to like commit to the tank, you bring in Nathan Peterman, 100%.
That's the answer. I could see Max Duggan, so he's floating around right now. I think that's probably a real answer, but I thought Zappi was doing enough that he was closer to Mac Jones than being off the roster. So this is a weird move.
Yeah. I got to cancel a bunch of waiver claims because I saw the Zappi release and then I was like, ooh, Malik Cunningham. And I put in a bunch of claims for Malik Cunningham. And then I was like, oh, he's gone too? What the hell? Okay. What about you, Jagger? Do you got a guy in mind here? Colt McCoy landing spot, maybe?
I mean, I guess that makes sense. Like Colt McCoy would, but I feel like one of these two guys, like Malik Cunningham or Bailey Zappi, is going to be a practice squad guy, and then they're going to like it's just going to be an old vet that they're going to sit there, and then if anything happens to Mac Jones, that like I think Cunningham or Zappi will be on at least the practice squad. So if anything, I think this shows how silly we were with the whole Bailey Zappi thing. It was the weirdest 4 weeks of football ever because I was just losing it. Everyone's like, Bailey Zappi's the guy. I'm like, what are we doing here? Do we really have that short of memory? It makes zero sense.
It was so fun though. Fun.
The other guy on our podcast, usually Eric Watt, he was one of those guys. I was like, Zappi is better than Mac Jones. And we all were just like, you must stop this. It must end here.
Well, look, Corey, he hasn't liked Mac Jones even since college. Like
that's true. It was more an anti-Mac Jones take than a pro Bailey Zappi take. I get that, but
can I make my pitch for Carson Wentz?
That was my okay. Go for it because that was mine. Mine. Go for it.
The fact that Carson is a guy who went in the first round, yes, I get it. You know, he hasn't looked good. He's played YOLO Wentz ball recently. But he has first-round pedigree, which those guys tend to stick around the league for much longer because teams, for whatever reason, believe that it still means something 10 years after they're drafted. You can make the argument it really doesn't. But yeah, Carson Wentz, I think, is the best quarterback that's going to be available right now. And I think he's probably at the point where if he wants to play in the NFL next year, it's going to have to be a backup job. And he's going to have to accept that.
I've seen some reports come out that, unsubstantiated obviously, but have been saying that he's basically ready to take a backup job. And so I think that's a great answer. It was my answer. I still think he stinks, but I think that he has enough buzz about him, enough perceived potential that maybe a team could give it a shot on him. But Patriots need someone, and he's available if he's willing to be a backup. I agree with you in terms of you look at the backup landscape, I think he beats most of those guys. So I think that is also my answer. I think it's a good one. Okay. Well, the only other thing I was going to mention is just to couple with the weirdness of the Patriots QB situation. They also only kept 2 running backs, and that's not weird by itself. There are teams that do that, but the fact that the 2 RBs they kept was Ramondre and Zeke. That's their guys. It's just strange to me to see that, but not really a lot to talk about there unless anyone has a dark horse. Maybe a Kareem Hunt goes there. If someone really believes that, they could shout it out. But otherwise, we can go ahead and move on here into our mock draft. Mike, do you want to sort of give a little bit of an explanation? You were sort of putting the rules together here. So I'd let you take the lead on sort of explaining to the people what we're doing.
Yeah, for sure. So this is going to be a super flex tight end premium dynasty mock draft. We're just going to go through the top 10 picks. If we have a little extra time, we'll go through the top 15. As we are moving through it, it's not going to be a regular mock draft where we're just picking it, we're talking about it, and you hear the thoughts that you've heard us talk about all summer go through it. Instead, what's going to happen is that each person that is on this pod, so Corey, me, Jagger, and Evan, each have 2 power-ups. Those power-ups, one is that you can make it one of the other people on this podcast re-pick their pick. So let's say Evan at the 102 takes somebody that I don't want him to take. I can make him pick somebody else. I'm not going to pick for him, but I can make him re-pick. And then I get another power-up later that I can use in the show where I pick for the person. So let's say Corey takes Anthony Richardson at the 201 and I really want him at the 202. I can make Corey pick somebody else within reason. Let's not, have Trey Lance go in the second round. That would be silly. Any questions, comments, concerns? Cool.
Makes sense to me.
I got everything written down. The boys were told to be ready at 8:50, but it looks like our draft room is about full. Corey, you want me to click play?
Well,
Let's get it done.
The second power up one more time, real quick. Hit play, but just like
yeah. So ready? I could say, Evan, I don't like your pick as he's talking through it, and I can make him pick somebody else. Evan, you gotta announce your pick. You can't just pick it.
Oh, okay.
It's a podcast.
Taking Jalen Hurts here, Eagles homer pick. I'll give it that, but it's a very clear top 3 pick.
Yeah. But so if I didn't like that as he's talking through it and says, I'm going to pick Jalen Hurts, I could say, no, you're not. You're picking Josh Allen. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
But you can't be like a complete ass and like pick, a Nathan Peterman as a top 3 pick, right? Basically the rules. Okay.
No. Let's do like plus or minus,
around.
around.
I have to turn my baseball cap backwards because it's draft time.
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm ready to catch some players. Okay, so we got our top 3 here goes Patrick Mahomes. Wow. Can't believe it. As the 101, Aaron St. Dennis making that selection. Evan follows it up with Jalen Hurts. Eric grabs Josh Allen. I'm actually kind of surprised that he didn't take Herbert there, but I guess he likes Allen more than Herbert right now.
Well, we got an auto pick already.
It's Eric. So why is he not taking Lawrence? He loves him.
I don't know what he's doing.
Why is he not taking Hendon Hooker?
Ooh.
Jagger, any thoughts on the top 3 quarterbacks and if there's anybody that's getting close to him, or you think it's the top 3 is the top 3?
I think Lamar Jackson, if he stays healthy, we're going to be talking about him. Like I think that whole thing is a tier. I think we kind of forget how good Lamar Jackson is for fantasy. I don't think we forget how good he is just as a quarterback in general. So if anything, I think that tier is fine. I just think that I think that we need to add at least like a stud like Lamar Jackson in there. Maybe pretty soon we'll have Justin Fields. So
interesting to see him go top 4 there. And then I'm used to seeing like straight 6 or 7 picks of QBs, but looks like that got broken up with the top 2 wide receivers going in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Corey, you want to talk us through the first round and anything that surprised you so far, or just it's been pretty standard?
No, I mean, like I was saying, it's definitely I'm used to seeing like top 7 picks all be QBs for a dynasty superflex startup. That gets broken up in the middle here with Jefferson and Chase going 105 and 16. Wally Clark's broke Mike's heart and took Justin Herbert. And then looks like Jagger went ahead and took Trevor Lawrence as the 108. I like that pick. I think that's good value for Lawrence. Burrow kind of drops to me at 1.9, but I guess, when you look at it, the wide receivers going early sort of made him drop. And then Mike from the Poor Man's Cast gets Justin Fields at 110, leaving Mike on the clock.
Yep. I picked this spot because it's a weird one. Like, you don't get any of the top quarterbacks. You don't get one of the top 2 receivers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a receiver that I think is going to get into that tier, or at least close to it. I'm going to take the Sun God.
Oh, you. All right. So that happened. Mike knows very well that Amon-Ra is my pick for Dynasty wide receiver 3 also. So he did that just to hurt me. Don't appreciate it, Mike. And I wish you the worst of luck in your future endeavors. I could make you repick, couldn't I?
You could, but I thought we were going to be nice the first couple rounds.
All right. I'll be nice. Okay. Well, that puts me in a spot here at the turn. Amon-Ra was definitely going to be one of my. Oh, I auto picked. Sorry, because I was talking through my stuff. Can that get changed? Thank you. So yeah, I'm staring down the barrel here of no Amon-Ra, none of the top quarterbacks. I do have access though to a couple of the top RBs, couple of the top wide receivers, and what I love to do at the turn of any draft is I love to double up because it feels nice. Not taking a QB seems risky, but there's no QBs here I really want this early. So I'm going to double it up, and I am going to take CeeDee Lamb, and then I'm going to take AJ Brown.
Those are both very reasonable picks. You said that none of the top quarterbacks were available.
Well, it gets kind of tricky because at the end here you have a lot of rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah, well, there's a rookie quarterback that's going to break the rookie rushing record that has job security from being a top 5 pick and is in an organization that's going to grow him as a human being. Anthony Richardson is going to be a first-round startup pick next year, and I'm getting him at the 202 right now.
That's so unfortunate, Mike, because you actually picked Bryce Young, and I used my power up.
Oh, are you sure?
I'm very sure.
Okay. All right.
That felt good and evil.
I mean, Mike, hey, come on. What are we doing here? Bryce Young? Oh, bro.
Bryce Young isn't projected to go for another round and a half.
What a pick, Mike.
That's atrocious. All right. So anyway, I took a number 1 overall quarterback with a lot of job security that I definitely believe in. Life's a Beach took Travis Kelce, which is a win now move and a half.
Yeah, he's got Burrow too.
But Blue Chip, what you thinking?
I kind of want to take Anthony Richardson, but I like having a really good receiver. So, sorry, go ahead. Garrett Wilson, it is.
Nice.
I'm completely okay with that.
Yep.
Man, this is not. Oh, I got to cross out Corey's pick.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that you used your pick 4 to make me take Bryce Young.
I wanted so badly to not let you have Anthony Richardson. As soon as I picked my 2 guys, I'm like, well, I'm not going to let Mike do that.
God. And that's why we're doing this. That's why we're doing this.
It's war, baby. All right. So after the Garrett Wilson pick, it goes Tyreek Hill going to Wally Clark's. We got a pretty, I think that's a really good pick by Chuck Bass getting Christian McCaffrey at the 2.7 to pair him up with Chase. Then we get Mike's burner account taking Anthony Richardson at 2.8. Yerp comes in with Jalen Waddle. Eric is on the clock here. Any guesses as to what Eric's going to lock in?
He's going to take Chris Olave.
I feel that. I feel Chris Olave.
Chuck is such a quarterback fader, and he plays a dangerous game in Dynasty that I just there's no way I could take Christian McCaffrey that high. There's no way.
Is Eric on auto draft on his own podcast?
Oh, no, he got it. He went Watson.
Just in time. And I did not think he was going to take Watson because I was very much set to take Watson there.
We'll talk us through who you're taking, Evan.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're going to go with a pick that I made a very bold claim about. So we're going to go with good old Mr. Chris Olave.
I don't think you are.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm not going to make you pick a certain player, but I'd love to hear who you're going to pick because Olave is not allowed.
Oof. Okay. Olave is not allowed. Then I'm gonna swing for the
And I'm
fences
gonna
here
tilt.
with Brees
Pivot.
Hall.
Brees Hall?
Yeah,
Brees Hall?
Brees
Okay.
Hall.
All right. Go ahead.
Let's go Dynasty RB2 in my mind still. I know he took a little bit of a hit. Definitely
think you're
not
right.
thrilled about it, but maybe Chris Olave just kind of leaks back to me. Maybe I'll okay.
No. Aaron St. Dennis must be listening because he will not allow that to happen.
He said, nope.
Nah. Oh, and he gets Devonta Smith
Oh,
to round it out.
around the corner.
See, if I were you, that's what I would have done right there. I would have been like,
Yeah.
Olave, hope I get Smith on the back end and giggle my way all the way up to the podium. But alas, we don't live in that universe. That's a different timeline.
All right.
Brutal.
So here we go. We're gonna make the pick on Jonathan Taylor.
Wow.
Oh wow,
Okay.
I'm gonna be ballsy here. I'm gonna go running backs and hope that I can be able to pick up some wide receivers later in the draft.
Very interesting.
I'm going to let you because this is hilarious right now. It's a 3 wide receiver super flex dynasty league, and you have no wide receivers through 3 rounds.
Yeah. I will gladly accept that, Mike.
Go off, King.
Hey, in terms of quantity, there are way more wide receivers than
Oh,
running
you
backs.
son of a.
Ooh. Oh,
Really,
JSN.
dude?
Does that feel a little early for you guys?
Yes.
It
on
feels-
very
JSN,
early.
Very.
It feels 1 round too early because that was going to
Yeah.
be my guy on the turn.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I feel that.
Too late.
Okay.
ugh.
Okay.
Europe,
Stephon Diggs
I
go
don't
out.
like
So to follow up the round 3 selections here, we had Devonta Smith 3-1, then Jonathan Taylor by Evan. Eric comes in with T. Higgins. Europe takes JSN, which is a little bit of an early pick in our opinions, but get your guy. Pretty nice young wide receiver core there, though. Then Stephon Diggs goes after, followed up by more fading of the QB by Chuck Bass with Mark Andrews as the 3-6 pick. Wally Clark's breaks my heart, taking DK Metcalf at 3-7. And we have Fantasy Blue Chip on the clock. Jagger, who you got?
All right. So whoever he's got, he now has Austin Eckler.
Oh,
Are you lying? Are you?
No, we're gonna use that power up and force the pick of Austin
Ooh.
Eckler.
Jagger,
I'm
real
into
quick,
that.
who were you going to take?
No. No.
I just wanted to see that reaction. That was exactly the reaction that I was expecting.
I am assuming that you were not going to take Austin Eckler.
Bro, I gave up on running back a long time ago. Like I don't. He's the opposite. Like the Evan, come on now. You could tell. You're just like, he's on a second contract. He's old as shit. You hate running backs. Boom. Like,
This is going to get so nasty.
Well, and you very obviously go for the youth movement. You go Garrett Wilson and Trevor Lawrence. So you got plenty of years. So might as well make you use one of
and
those
then we
top
auto
3
draft
picks.
Gibbs.
Yeah, right. I don't think I was going to get Gibbs because I think Mike was going to take him, but I was hoping for
No,
Gibbs.
it was the right pick to pick Gibbs, but he didn't do it, and that's the problem.
Well, we got Mike from the Poor Man's Podcast on the clock here. This is going to get nasty. I've already made Mike take his least favorite rookie quarterback, and now we have Evan making Jagger take an old RB as a self-proclaimed RB hater. So here we go, guys. We got Kyle Pitts going to Go Guy Go.
That was
Mike's
my pick.
team.
That
was my
already completely tilted. I'm going to pause the draft real quick to talk through this, but my build right now is a wide receiver that maybe is going to be the wide receiver 3 next year and a quarterback that I don't believe in. The quarterbacks on the board right now are either old or giant risks with Tua. So I am going to just scroll on down and I'm going to have what we call ourselves a little productive struggle. And I am going to go ahead and pick Kyler Murray before anybody else can. Because he's going to be a quarterback 1 in 2024.
Take him.
Too easy. Jagger, you got power-ups if you want to use them.
I'm happy with that pick. I'm very happy with that pick. I got a back-to-back here that I like. Like I said, I like to double up. I should probably add an RB at some point, but I'm going to take care of my QBs here. I'm going to take Tua because I don't think he's as much of a risk as some people might think. I'm going to believe in the health, and I'm going to follow that up with my second QB and take Daniel Jones. I think I have a nice little
brutal,
QB
man.
stack there. I like it. I like my QBs young and with a little bit of rushing upside with DJ. So I'm happy with those two picks. And we got Mike back on the clock.
Not gonna lie, I forgot that I have to pick again. So now I'm looking at the board for the first time.
Actually, can I use a power up right now?
Oh
Yeah, do what you want to do. Who you want to take it with?
You got to pick someone else other than Daniel Jones.
Oh. Brutal. Okay. I think that might adjust my double up here. I don't think I can double up now with that. Ooh, you put me in a spot, sir. Okay, I will go ahead instead of Daniel Jones. I will go ahead and lock in my other favorite Giant, and I'll take Saquon Barkley.
Dang, that is an aggressive running back.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I like it. I think it'll be good still. My team still gets their RB1, so I will go ahead and lean into Barkley.
Well, I tell you what, it's only a reach if you're sure they're not going to make it back to you. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to lock in a wide receiver that I love for 2024, not for 2023. This build is already out the window.
Who's that?
I took Quentin Johnston. So
I don't know who that is.
Never heard of him. Reports right now are that he's taking wide receiver 4 snaps behind Josh Palmer. Yeah. So that's terrifying.
Well, I mean, Josh Palmer is the better wide receiver, so it makes sense.
But I tell you what, 2024, QJ and Herbert are going to set all sorts of nastiness.
I'm so pissed at this Austin Eckler thing. I'm just like, I can't. I'm having a hard time moving past it.
So you just forwarded on the pain to me by
he
not
is
letting
never
me
coming
have
on the
Jones.
show again.
I take so much pride in recognizing that.
Okay, so we had.
Can you pause it?
Yeah. I'll talk through the round 4 selections here. So I went Saquon Barkley because Jagger ruined my life and didn't let me take Daniel Jones. We had Mike take some dude named Quentin Johnston. Never heard of him. Mike, Go Guy Go from Poor Man's Pod. He took Josh Jacobs, so he's got a nice little stable of RBs now, but missing out on the wide receivers. So that'll be interesting. And then Life's the Beach 420. 420 took Drake London as his wide receiver 1, and that leaves Fantasy Blue Chip Jagger on the clock.
To explain what happened here, quite literally, the top of my queue was Pitts, Gibbs, London, Daniel Jones, who I'm going to take right now, so something goes right for me. Yeah. But yeah, that was a brutal turn right there for me.
It was.
That was just like body shots.
Evan, you still got a repick you could make him use.
No, that's fine.
Can we be nice to our guest
just
and let him have a guy?
No. I'm just competitive now. So like all you're doing is
yeah. Like I said, it's war, man. Let's get into it. Okay, Wally Clark takes his RB1 and Travis Etienne after the Daniel Jones pick. Chuck, when are you gonna pick a QB, man?
No, Look, I'm with Chuck here. If Cooper Kupp is still there in the 4th round,
yeah.
I mean, we're talking a production wide receiver that's gonna win you in the first year. You look at his team already. Christian McCaffrey solidifying there. Like, as soon as you take Christian McCaffrey, you know that you better be building a win now team.
I mean, this looks like a redraft team that didn't realize it was super flex until after the draft.
No, you're talking about Chuck's team?
Yeah.
That's all Chuck's teams. Like this is a Chuck build right here.
Yeah.
You can see it with Chuck. He's going to go the old production quarterback.
No, yeah, I got it. He's going to get Aaron Rodgers in the 9th and dominate all of us.
I'm still extremely tilted about not getting Daniel Jones. I feel so much worse having Tua as my only QB, not having Daniel Jones as my QB2. It feels bad.
That's how I feel about my receivers. I could have Drake London. I could have Kyle Pitts. It could be better. But
imagine your quarterback 1 being your least favorite quarterback in the first round. I haven't liked Bryce Young at all.
I know. I'm sorry, Mike.
Kenneth Walker.
Oh man. Okay. So we had Cooper Kupp by Chuck in the middle of the fourth, followed up by Nick Chubb, Dak Prescott, and then Ken Walker is Eric's RB1, which seems a little risky, but I'm a Walker fan being up here in Seattle, so I can dig it. Hopefully he doesn't lose any work to Charbonnet in a major way, but we'll see. That leaves Evan on the clock here at the 411.
Yeah, so we're going to go with TJ Hawkinson here. Solidify the tight end room. Moving on, I get it. Minnesota had a incredibly efficient offense last year. You don't really know what's going to happen to Kirk Cousins. So there is some question marks there. Bringing in Addison, how's that going to deal with his target share? But I still feel good locking it up with the amount of targets that he had, the pace that he was on with Minnesota's offense last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I like it. I actually made a massive trade in RPG Alchemist where I sold Kyle Pitts and I acquired Hawkinson, and I didn't feel like that was a huge downgrade. So yeah, I can dig it. After the Hawkinson pick, we had Devonta Adams at the turn here, going alongside Derrick Henry. So a pretty aggressive win now build by Aaron St. Dennis as well, having Adams and Henry on the squad.
It's a very sustainable roster though, because like Adams and Henry are good value right now. And let's say like it doesn't go his way, he could probably still flip those assets and get something back. And then he has a good youth movement behind Olave, a Devontae Smith. So I really like his build so far.
Yeah.
All right, Evan, what are you gonna do?
Yep, Evan, back on the clock here.
It's a 2 QB league, so I'm looking at CJ Stroud here. The team is still young enough that I think I can get a couple years. I think if one of these teams with a more production quarterback starts to falter at the very beginning, then that'll give me a trade chip to be able to utilize. So that's who I'm going to take.
That's crazy because I don't think that's who you're going to take because I still have a pick 4. And you know what? I was looking at your build and you got 2 running backs. You seem like a high testosterone guy.
More running backs, baby.
How do you feel about a 3rd running back in Dameon Pierce? I mean, he's right there in the queue. The ADP is great. I just think that's a great pick, Evan. That's a great pick to pick the guy that won't receive more than 30 targets ever in his career. That's awesome.
Alpha
wow.
move. That's alpha behavior, right?
Brutal.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't even give me like Javonte Williams.
No, I just wanted you to get all the testosterone and none of the fantasy points.
Guys, are we going to be friends after this?
Oh, probably not. This is tough. Jagger's already unfollowed me. He's DMing me on Twitter. We're never talking again.
Yeah, you hate to see it, but more importantly, you love to see it.
Brutal.
Well, after that awesome pick by Evan, CJ Stroud goes next to Eric.
Oh,
that makes it even
Eric.
worse.
I hope Eric is listening to the live stream here and did that on purpose. If not, that's even more funny though.
We still believe in Judy? Damn.
Yeah, that's an interesting pick with Judy. I mean, still young, but that injury, hamstring, lingering into the season.
Another one.
All right, we have Mike's burner account here. Mike, go ahead and make your selection.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go with I can't read that, but DJ Moore. Actually, I really like that pick. I think that he's going to do for Justin Fields what A.J. Brown did for Jalen Hurts, what Stephon Diggs did for Josh Allen. It's not to the same level, but this is the best quarterback play that DJ Moore's ever had.
As your wide receiver 3, I really like
Nasty.
it. Yeah. Chuck just continuing the grind. He takes Tony Pollard in the middle.
Man.
He loves some Pollard. Like I thought he was gonna fuck me over, but this makes sense. So.
I do love some Pollard too. I agree with him there. It'll be very interesting to see what quarterbacks he ends up with if he ends up taking a quarterback. Wally Clarks takes Najee, who I would maybe argue over Pollard, but to each their own. That leaves Fantasy Blue Chip Jagger on the clock here at 5'8".
I am going to take. If I can figure out how to.
You got your QBs locked up with Lawrence and Jones. You got You got a solid RB1 in Eckler and a solid wide receiver 1 in Garrett Wilson. So
I'm gonna go Ayuk here.
Is everybody going to let him?
Yeah, you can have Ayuk. I would change it if I wasn't a Seahawks fan, and you can have the Niner. That's fine.
And just for the people counting at home, we still have a repick available for Corey. We have a Jagger being able to make the pick for somebody, and Evan available to make somebody repick. I've already used both of my power-ups.
You're welcome, Michael Anthony, by the way, in the chat for thanking me for stopping Mike from taking Anthony Richardson. You're very, very welcome. It felt like my duty. Okay, so Ayuk goes at 5'8", followed by Calvin Ridley. Life's a Beach 420 takes Calvin Ridley. We got Mike from Poor Man's Pod on the clock at 5'10". I can feel the tilt energy from Mike here as the other Mike snipes his pick. What do we got? Any guesses? I think Mike probably wants J.K. Dobbins.
He went with Pittman, which is definitely an option. I don't know if it's a good option.
I'm okay with that.
So just talking through it here, I have a very young team or a punt for 2024. So I'm going to take what I think is another great option for 2024. And I'm going to go ahead and go with George Patrick Pickens.
Ooh, wow. Okay. Hey, man. Upside is there. He seems like a dude. I don't hate it.
Dumb.
I'll let you do that. Okay, well, I'm back on the clock here. Got the turn ahead of me. Really feeling bad about my QB situation, only having Tua, so I think I'm going to have to lock in at least one QB here. The options are kind of stinky, but you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do what I really haven't done a lot of at all. This might actually be my first share, and it's a fake share. I'm going to go ahead and take... Oh, actually, is someone going to make me repick? Who do I take first? I'm going to take... Okay, well, I'm taking a stack, so you guys can ruin it if you want. But the first pick is going to be Jordan Addison. I'm going to go ahead and lock him up, and I'm going to stack him with Kirk Cousins as my QB2.
I'll allow it.
Michael, let me make the pick.
I got to wait for Evan to say that it's okay.
I'll allow it.
Okay.
Mike, let me make the pick. Don't let Evan do anything. There, locked in. You can't do anything about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, just rolling through here again. I think I'm just going to accumulate some young wide receivers with upside and ability.
No.
So what am I doing instead?
I don't know. What are you gonna do first?
Well, you didn't let me know for you. So I was thinking between Treylon Burks and Zay Flowers.
I think you're gonna pick Treylon Burks. I'll pick it for you.
Okay, I guess I'm okay with that. Treylon Burks, he's 2024 and beyond. He gets to learn from D-Hop. He's still got all the big boy attributes, so I'm gonna go with Burks.
That was very polite of you to give him one of his two picks.
Yeah, that was so kind. We did not do that for you. I'm sorry.
Oh my God! And then I get sniped.
Oh no!
Oh, so you picked Burks because you wanted Flowers, and then
I see.
Man, what a combo!
Mike, your wide receivers.
You know what, Jagger? That was so nice. I'm gonna let you keep your pick 4. You get another.
Thank you. Go guy, go! I want you to go F yourself, dog.
Oh man.
Mike out here just taking people's picks, you know. Poor man pod guys. Gotta love them.
There's so many mics.
There's a lot of mics. But I was gonna say, why did we not make Mike take Jameson Williams?
Because I love Jameson Williams.
That's so me. Do you?
Not anymore. I used to. I think where he's going in drafts, in redraft, he's worth like a late stash. But Dynasty, like he's still floating in the same range as everyone else, and like everything's pointing to not good things. But
Yeah.
Will Chuck Bass take a quarterback? Yes, no.
No. And
I
just to
think
follow
yes. I think he's
you
taken.
guess?
I think he's taken
Jordan
one.
Love.
Here comes Jared Goff. He's all in on the Goff train.
Gino,
Gino.
baby.
Ooh.
There we go.
Okay.
He loves some Gino.
Hey,
Chuck,
I
if
like
you're
that.
listening, we love you.
I appreciate some Gino pick. I'm good with that.
Gosh.
Other Mike, sorry, picked Javonte Williams. So yeah, just to go through this. So I went Kirk Cousins, then Treylon Burks to Mike, Zay Flowers to other Mike, then Christian Watson, Jahan Dotson to Jagger, Ramondre Stevenson went next, Geno Smith, Chuck gobbled up some Geno. Other Mike took Javonte Williams, and now we have Europe back on the clock. Takes Dallas Goedert. And now we have Eric on the clock, who takes George Kittle. I have a feeling Eric might have wanted Goddard because that Kittle pick was quick.
Well, then I will make the very quick pick of Jared Goff. Lock in that QB2. Not have to worry about something else.
Jared Goff. Ooh, you think Jared Goff? I think maybe a different guy.
Yeah? Are you going to use it, Corey?
I'll go ahead and use my power on that, and I don't think you get Jared Goff.
All right. Sounds good. That's really unfortunate. Thanks, Corey. Really appreciate you.
You might get him on the turn.
You suck. Okay, I'm going to go for what potentially could be in Washington and go Terry McLaurin then.
Okay. Turf toe don't scare you.
Look, I mean, he's always had his things that he's busted through.
Yeah.
I like the guy with a little bit of grit on him. And oh, hey, Kenny Pickens.
Look, you're
Pickett.
gonna get Jared Goff here at the turn.
I really like Kenny Pickett.
I wanted Kenny Pickett so bad.
Well, that's really unfortunate, Mike.
God, Aaron, I came on Aaron's show and I talked about Kenny Pickett for like 30 minutes. And he was like, I'm not sold. And now 2 months later, Aaron, if you're out there, I know you hear this. That's a Steelers stack right there.
Preseason is raising that ADP because it's like I know it's preseason, but he looks like a different player. He looks
like Kirk Cousins with turbo boosters.
Yeah,
he looks.
And that's
pretty
a good
good.
The offense just looks different in general.
Yeah. They opened the playbook up. This is like full offense.
Mike, your opinion as a Steelers fan, do you think that the Matt Canada hate was a little too soon?
No, Matt Canada sucks.
Okay.
I was like, I don't think that.
Everything that they do is in spite of Matt Canada, not because of Matt Canada.
Okay. I hear you.
It's kind of like how Mike McCarthy got by in Green Bay. When you put so much talent on like one team, you're gonna fail upward, So
yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. So Aaron St. Dennis went with the stack there, gets Kenny Pickett and Deontay. Evan still gets Jared Goff, so there's a little bit of a whiff by me. I maybe should have waited until your second pick to pull the trigger on that, but
Goff's going to get his contract. He's going to get an extension.
Yeah. I really like Goff. I think I've said that quite a few times on the podcast, but Eric gets Joe Mixon as RB2. Europe takes Deebo Samuel. Still doesn't have an RB on that team. Other Mike takes Jordan Love. We got Chuck getting some Amari Cooper. And then Christian Kirk gets taken by Wally Clarks at the 7-7, leaving Jagger back on the clock.
Okay, I'm going to take Darren Waller and get a stack for Daniel Jones.
Ooh, I think I'm going to make you repick.
Oh, okay.
Oh, brutal.
And
That's
Jagger, real
stack.
quick, just so you know, the comments sections love you. So you get an extra power up for this little chat.
Oh, okay.
So you can get another one. You have 2 in your pocket. So
okay. Well, I'll keep that in my back pocket then, and I'll try to tilt into a different direction because I thought he was out of power ups, and I'm going to take Zach Charbonnet because.
And for what it's worth, everyone is now out of power ups other than Jagger, who has 2 pick 4s just sitting in his pocket.
Yeah. Zach Charbonnet, come onto my team. There we go.
There it is.
I mean,
Corey
I love
scoring
him.
more points. Charbonnet or Walker?
Zach Charbonnet. It's still Walker for me. All right, it's still Walker. I've professed that. I still think he's the RB1. But if Walker goes down, Zach Charbonnet should be in the conversation as like a top 12 finishing RB if he's gobbling up all that work on a run-heavy Seahawks offense. So I like the pick. I like the player. I'm a Seahawks fan. I was a Zach Charbonnet fan before he got drafted to the Hawks. So I do like the pick. It's a nice pick, and I wish I could replace it, but I can't. So Zach Charbonnet gets taken. Dalton Kincaid gets taken after that to Life's a Beach 420. Mike from Poor Man takes Chris Godwin. I think that's a solid pick, and it leaves our Mike on the clock.
Yeah. Corey, quick question. What would you pay for Darren Waller if you were a competitor in a Dynasty rebuild or a Dynasty, your competitor?
On a team that I won last year and I am in a position to win again, and it's tight end premium, actually like extra tight end premium. I paid a first. I gave him my first.
Oh.
I gobbled up some Waller.
Just like a first straight up?
First straight up. Yep.
Okay, cool. That's a note to league mates to know your people you're drafting with. I see Darren Waller sitting here. I see that Corey's build is super, super intense. I'm drafting Waller. I have no intention of using him.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Oh, yeah, Jagger. Yeah, Jagger. That's what I'm talking about.
No, you're not.
So who am I picking, Jagger? Who am I picking?
I think what looks really good on your team. I am a generous God.
A benevolent.
I will,
being.
benevolent. I will allow you to have David Njoku.
Okay, I don't hate that. I mean, I'm a Steelers fan, so that kind of sucks.
I love you, Jagger. I love
Oh
you.
man,
because you're about to take Waller.
Yeah, you're my best friend. I'm taking Waller. Absolutely. That's my.
I can't be an asshole twice in a row.
Yeah, you can. You got two of them. You can make him repick.
Nah,
Corey's just going to take him with his second pick, though.
Yeah. God, now you still don't get him.
I got another guy.
Well, if you want to take my second pick, you can. It's going to be some J.K. Dobbins. I'm going to lock him in as my RB2.
That's reasonable. All right. Well,
JK,
my
back on the
idea
clock.
of stealing people is completely gone because there's nobody here that's like really screaming out to me like this is a competitor, like this is going to help you push the needle over. So what I am going to do is continue with this build of a lot of risk reward and maybe it pays off in 2024. Screw it. Why not? Jameson Williams. He's not scoring me any points, which makes my pick even better. This team's going to be nasty in 2024.
All right, so Mike, we just did the 24 breakdown.
Yeah.
So if you just magically walk into the 101 with this team, seeing your quarterback room, what are you thinking?
I'm going to do what the Cardinals are going to do. I'm going to trade away my quarterback one. That's not true. The Cardinals are probably going to keep Kyler Murray, but I would trade away Bryce Young just because I personally don't love him. So I would, after a good rookie season, I'd try to move him for a first and find either a quarterback that I have more belief in, or I think right now you could trade Bryce Young for Kenny Pickett plus, for Jared Goff plus, like for somebody with job security plus. So I would ride off that high and try and do that. But 101, I would take Caleb Williams. Long story short.
Yeah,
I've been seeing Mike from Poor Man Pod take some Sam Howell in some recent drafts we've taken. I think he is on board the Howell train.
That's a high Sam Howell pick.
So that is Sam Howell going at 8-3. We got Cam Akers going next. Pat Fryermuth is the Jagger pick.
I feel good. Any of these tight ends that just went, I would have been happy with at this range. I'm perfectly fine with. So like Pat Fryermuth, I feel like he's someone we forget about. He's like steady Eddie, like 12 points a game or something like that. And it's not pretty, but it's like not ugly. You know, it's like he's kind of like the butterface of tight ends. You know, you're like,
If you're in on Kenny Pickett, you should probably be in on Fryermuth. He finished very close to a top 10 finish last year. And that was with only 2 touchdowns. Actually, no, he finished as a tight end 8. So
does he? I was going to say of a little bit better Heath Miller.
Yes.
Yes. A little bit better. Are we?
A lot better. Yeah.
You guys are sleeping on Heath Miller.
We're talking to a Steelers fan here. So
Heath Miller is one of the best tight ends of the 21st century, but whatever.
As opposed to the 20th century?
Well, he played in the 21st century, but
fine. Tanner, to answer your question about J.K. Dobbins, 1 year more removed from his injury, I think he'll be fine personally. I like his touchdown upside. I know Lamar Jackson's going to sneak a few in, but he was solid before he got hurt. He has a down year because he was hurt, and now he should be back to form.
Yeah. And Todd Monken's going to run an offense from the 21st century as opposed to the 20th century. So
that should
maybe
help.
Dobbins will catch more than 7 passes.
I saw they waived Melvin Gordon too. Not that, Melvin Gordon was going to be much of anything, but
We were all worried about that.
It's one less RB on the roster, Mike.
Yeah. Just for the people that are listening right now, we are going to cut this off at the end of the 10th round. So just be ready for that.
Laporta he keeps going up higher and higher every
he
draft.
is. He is. I think it has something to do with, Jameson obviously suspended. There's a little bit of injury going around with Amon-Ra, and I mean he should be a top target on the team.
We're going full tilt into the running backs here. We're going Aaron Jones.
Okay,
I wanted Hollywood Brown. And Eric sniped me.
Yep. Let me recap here real quick. So after the Jagger pick with Freiermuth, it went Evan Ingram. Swift went next to Chuck's team. Sam Laporta went after that. Miles Sanders. Then some Hollywood Brown by Eric sniping Evan, forcing him to take Aaron Jones at the 8-11. Aaron St. Dennis went back-to-back RBs with Rashad White and James Cook, a couple of younger guys with some upside there, leaving Evan back on the clock at 9-2.
And
I have one more. More power up.
You do.
you do.
Use it or lose it.
Yeah, no, I got it. I don't even. I guess I'm too nice. It's I don't even need it. I don't think.
All right. Well, in that case, then I'm gonna continue the trend of just going with old, spicy, decrepit wide receivers here, and start that trend at least.
Keenan.
People that nobody want, and go with Keenan Allen.
Yep.
I love that.
Yeah. I hate it, but
Mike Williams right after.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Who finishes higher this year, Corey? Mike Williams or Keenan Allen?
I think Mike Williams probably, and it'll probably come down to injury. I just think Keenan Allen is a little riskier, even though they're both guys that have had injuries. Keenan Allen's a little older, and his specifically have been hamstrings, which don't tend to age well.
So I was very close to trying to take both of those guys with my 2 picks and just be like,
Nice.
Look, whoever is going to be the healthy one in that offense is going to be the one starting week in and week out.
Ooh, Yerp following up. He already has Goddard, but Yerp goes ahead and takes rookie Michael Mayer with the 9-4, solidifying his tight end position there a little bit. It is tight end premium, so
Yeah.
we have other Mike here on the clock. Takes DeAndre Hopkins. That's investing in the Titans passing game. I don't know.
Yeah, we all love 30-year-old receivers tied to Ryan Tannehill in a run-first offense. That's
okay. Chuck takes. Oh, I like that stack actually. Chuck gets
Ooh.
Geno Smith and Tyler Lockett on the team.
Chuck's
Love
winning
it.
this league.
Chuck Bass is a value hunter.
Chuck's team, I was like, ooh, when he took the Andrews pick, I was like, oh man, I don't know. And now, as it's settled, I really like it. I really like Chuck's squad.
Look,
Does
does Chuck's
a unique
team,
build that works?
Yeah.
does Chuck's team not seem like the team that's just going to trade away the 24, 25 first and just go get a quarterback?
I feel it. I definitely feel that.
You feel like you can always tell that one, maybe 2 teams in the draft that you just look at them and you're like round 8, round 9 in, and you're like, oh, okay. These are the guys that as soon as the draft's over, they're immediately going to be trying to trade that first round pick for the next 2 years.
Well, I just got completely crushed by that JSN pick. Or no, that's not. That's Juju. Okay, never mind.
You thought JSN fell to the 9th? He went in the 3rd round.
Yeah, I got confused. I saw J and S and a dash, and I got confused.
Yeah. All right. Well, as I'm looking at it, I think that there's another player. Again, I love taking players in startups that are just values and then flipping them to a contender. We talk about Chuck Bass has this huge win now mentality. I'm just going to go ahead and take a really good youngish running back and just flip him and just see. Either the value goes up and I can get a future first, or he stinks and, whatever. It was a 9th round pick.
You're using very good, very loosely.
No, that's fair. I'm going to say high volume is the better descriptor.
Could also get a Kareem Hunt on the Vikings and ruin that pick completely. But
yeah, well, RIP to Dwayne McBride.
Let's pour one out for Dwayne McBride for sure.
That was fun for about a month.
Oh, I auto pick, sorry. But I have to actually kind of think a little bit here because I don't really even know. I mean, I guess I need a little bit of everything. I see Isaiah Pacheco up there. He's my guy. I do love him. I don't know if that's exactly what I want to do with this build. I almost kind of want to. I feel like there's a little bit of a QB oversaturation. I feel like there's like some QBs that I'd be happy to have as like my QB3 on a Superflex team. I don't know if I want to take him at 9, 12, or 10, 1, but I'm like looking at guys like Derek Carr, even like a Mac Jones is my QB3. He's the only guy on the roster that can throw the ball, so it's a little interesting to me. But I think instead I'm going to go. I've gone pretty steady, I think, and I'm going to go full upside here. And I'm going to take a couple of guys that I think one is like a cheap RB1 when he comes back from suspension and go ahead and gobble up some Alvin Kamara. And then I'm just going to go ahead and snipe Mike Scott and Kadarius Toney.
No.
Oh, who's my repick?
I'm going to save you from yourself. You're going to take Brock Purdy. And you're going to flip him in season. You're going to flip him in season, him or Cousins, and you're going to feel good about it.
I don't even hate that. I like some Brock Purdy. Okay. Yeah. I got the 3 QBs. I'm all set.
I had to use it. So I was like, let me do you a favor.
I feel it. I feel it. I like Kamara's upside. I think he'll come back and be a RB1, but Brock Purdy, I don't hate it. Wish I could have gotten Kamara, but
you branded yourself as a nice guy. You took a pick from Corey and you sniped me with your repick. So you just got a collateral damage. You remember that old Modern Warfare 2? You killed 2 guys with 1 sniper round.
Oh yeah.
Jagger and I are secretly on the same team.
Yeah, you guys have just been texting on the side.
Yeah,
collusion.
You don't know
Collusion.
But as we talk about 2024 build, let's talk about a running back room that has 2 guys that are over 28. Both of them have possible outs. Jamal Williams probably not, but Kamara has a possible out after the season. And they used day 2 draft capital on him, and I kind of liked him already. He's super young. He is talented. Kendre Miller.
I like it. I like that pick. For what your build is, I love that 2024 play of Kendre Miller.
He's not going to score me points this year. Too many, hopefully.
Even better.
So, Caleb Williams, here we come.
I like it. Okay. Well, after Kendre Miller, Jonathan Mingo goes. Life's a Beach 420 takes Trey Lance, which is interesting.
We're still doing that.
Backup QB at the 10-4, but all right.
Yeah. The fact that he would go over Mac Jones is crazy. Like Mac Jones is right there, and he's actually throwing footballs.
Russell Wilson has a job. Derek Carr has a job. Mac Jones has a job. Desmond Ridder has a job. Matt Stafford has a job. Will Levis has a path to a job. Bold move. Jagger, what you thinking?
I'm going Tank Bigsby here.
I love that.
Because on this roster, as soon as this draft is up, I'm putting Eckler on the trade block, and I'm trying to get a receiver off a contender or something.
Yeah, I'll trade you. I'll trade you Jordan Addison and a second for Eckler.
I'd do that. I'd do that in a heartbeat, actually. Yeah.
I'll go win the league with Barkley and Eckler and Dobbins.
And I'll perpetually rebuild. So
Chuck did kill this. I mean, yeah, we're not lying. Chuck did draft an awesome team here.
Well, we were all intentionally messing with each other the whole time, which didn't help.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We'll have to have Chuck on one of these. This was a lot of fun. I know we're almost at the end of it here, but it's very competitive and contentious. And I kind of hate you all. I love Jagger, but I hate the rest of you. And that's kind of where I'm at.
Oh, man.
But okay, to recap this last round here, I went Kadarius Toney to snipe Mike. Mike still gets his guy with Kendre Miller. Jonathan Mingo goes next. Trey Lance after that. Tank Bigsby, Desmond Ritter, Chuck. Oh man, just evens out his team really well with Derek Carr as his last pick as his QB2. Marvin Mims goes after that. Isaiah Pacheco to Europe. Eric takes James Conner, which I think is a pretty solid pick for what his build is looking like. And that leaves us with Evan's last pick.
Yeah, so we're going to go with the guy that continuously puts up 1,000-yard seasons. He has not had a single season in his entire NFL career that he's been under 1,000 yards, if I remember correctly here.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go with the 30-year-old Mike Evans.
Yeah. Okay.
Man, that happened.
Mike Evans. A little bit of an older wide receiver core for Evan, but I mean, all still guys that can produce. The last pick in the draft ends up being Cole Kmet. Aaron C. Dennis waits the very, very, very last pick to take his tight end, which is a strategy. It's tight end premium, but it's still a tight end. So if you don't get a top guy, there's room to argue that you just wait. And that is what he did. And that takes us to the conclusion, guys. Should we quickly run through our teams and knock this thing off?
Let's get it.
Yeah.
Why don't we go ahead and start with Evan, since you were the first out of the four of us to pick. Go ahead and run through your team real quick.
All right, so my team goes Jalen Hurts, Breece Hall, Jonathan Taylor, TJ Hawkinson, Damian Pierce. Thanks, Mike. Really appreciate that one. Terry McLaurin, Jared Goff, Aaron Jones, Keenan Allen, and Mike Evans. Older wide receiver crew, but going running back early. Production was what I was going for.
You got three quality young running backs there, right?
Stop it.
All right. Fantasy Blue Chip. Jagger, why don't you go ahead and run through your team real quick?
Lawrence, Garrett Wilson, Eckler, Daniel Jones, Ayuk, Jahan Dotson, Charbonnet, finally getting a tight end at Pat Freiermuth, David Montgomery, and Bigsby. To be honest, this is a team I would draft. The only thing is Eckler and like Daniel Jones I would draft, but like I wish that was Kyle Pitts, but stuff happens.
Yep. So just the pick that we made you pick is the one that you don't like. That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Mike, you want to go ahead and run through yours?
Yeah, I have the two guys saying size don't matter at quarterback. I have Bryce Young and Kyler Murray.
You do have a short king QB room, don't you?
Short kings. Even at wide receiver to start, I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
Then I got the big boys, Quentin Johnson and George Pickens, Treylon Burks and Jamison Williams, all at wide receiver. I have Kendre Miller and Alexander Madison as running backs, although I plan on flipping Madison. And then David Njoku, who I think has like sneaky top 5 upside this year and is still very young and has a fat contract tying him to Cleveland forever. So I like it, other than why you made me reach a whole round and honestly a whole like foot on Bryce Young.
To be fair, made you reach a whole round, but the next round was like 2 picks after you picked, so didn't make you reach that much.
No, we were going this way. I had a whole 30. All right. Well, Corey, it's your turn.
Okay. My team, which I actually really like, started with CeeDee Lamb and AJ Brown as my top 2 wide receivers. I got Tua, who I was very happy about to have as my QB1 with Daniel Jones as my QB2, but wasn't allowed that. So I took Saquon Barkley instead. Got a Jordan Addison and Kirk Cousins stack, though, that I think is kind of fun. Got my tight end 1 with Darren Waller. J.K. Dobbins is my RB2. Got my 3rd QB with Brock Purdy and Kadarius Toney to round it out with a little bit of upside. I like that team.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad.
All right. Well, thank you to everyone that tuned in and drafted alongside us. I really appreciate everyone that stopped by. Aaron St. Dennis, Chuck, obviously, you did great. Mike from the Poor Man Pod, everyone else in the draft room, really appreciate everyone hanging out with us and doing a little bit of mock drafts. This was a lot of fun. This is a great idea, Mike. I think we should do another one of these soon. Maybe like a mid-season mock draft battle with like the same rules.
Yeah. Do another Dynasty little check-in, see who's rising, who's falling, what the vibes are.
That'd be a ton of fun. But before we just go ahead and end the broadcast, one last chance for Jagger. Do you want to just recap where people can find you, what shows you're on, and all that good stuff?
Yeah, most of the time my face isn't frozen, but you could catch me at Fantasy Blue Chip, where I host a Dynasty Hour and the Dynasty Degens podcast. And if you ever see a football guy short or TikTok, I'm the guy who cuts those up. So
awesome, man. Well, I'm looking forward to checking out more of your stuff and just seeing more of you out there. Right before the end here, quickly, just want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Dubby. Mike, can you give the listeners a little bit of a Dubby education?
Yeah, I would love to. I mean, you guys know what time it is. We got to plug Dubby.
It's Dubby time.
It's Dubby time. But if you want to be energized for mayhem in the Mocktagon, be sure to use Dubby. Use code FFRPG at checkout. It's a blendable, jitterless energy drink. Honestly, I use it before meetings, and instead of drinking a Bang and feeling like I need to like fight God and like sit there and vibrate, like I can just drink a Dubby and relax a little bit while still feeling awake. So it's a cool little combo. And if you use our code at checkout, eventually we'll buy Evan a mic.
Yeah. Actually, Dubby just came out with a new flavor, I think, too. It's the Cali O cream. It's like a mango orange cream that I'm pretty interested in trying out. So check it out, guys. Use the code FFRPG. And yeah, again, thank you everyone for stopping by. This is a ton of fun, and we will run something back again next week. Thank you all, and have a great night. Bye.
Bye.